Hi, I'm Raven, and…
Ah! Raven, help me! My eyes are on fire!
That's my sister. I told you not to play with the soap, Regina! I'm only 9 years old, but my baby sister makes me feel like her parent, since she's always getting herself into trouble. And if I don't help her, then who will? Since Mom is always so busy.
Raven? Regina, you're going to be late for school.
Let me introduce myself properly. I am Raven, and I am from New York. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, back to my story. Growing up, I learned to be the responsible big sister. Regina is 3 years younger than me, and we both live with our mom, who works extremely hard as a real estate agent. Besides Mom being busy, Regina has always been such a difficult child.
Mommy, my clothes are all messed up.
Oh, Regina, why can't you be more responsible like your sister? The bus will be here any moment now. Raven, please help.
I didn't mind helping Mom out with my sister, but as I helped her change into a clean t-shirt, she suddenly bit my hand. Ow! Regina, why did you do that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Raven. I didn't mean to bite you. I was feeling a little hungry and it just happened. Is that a bus I hear? Hurry up, Raven. We're going to be late.
At school, I was a top student and a role model to all my classmates.
Well done once again to Raven, who scored full marks on the test. Everyone else failed.
Oh, aren't you so perfect? Geek.
Oh, don't sulk too much. You might just melt and turn exactly into your result, which is a big, fat 0. Kids were jealous of me all the time, but I never focused on that much. I stuck to my goals and enjoyed the results. Mom would be so proud. And when I was around 16 and showed Mom my top achievement award, Regina suddenly screamed.
Ah!
What's wrong? What happened?
Oh, I thought I saw a rat or maybe a snake, but it's just my eyes playing games. What's for dinner? I'm hungry.
Can I see your report card?
Regina's report card looked like a hot dookie, and Mom was not very pleased when she saw her results.
You failed. Again?
I'll try harder next term.
I never see you studying. You're always watching TV or playing video games. From now onwards, you will study with your sister.
I was so surprised by what Regina did next. She got up and toppled the table and chairs upside down with so much rage.
I'm so sick and tired of you and your perfect daughter, Raven. I'm not Raven, Mom.
After Regina left the kitchen like a beast, Mom started crying, and I comforted her. And then later that evening, when we sat down for dinner, Mom had something important to tell us.
The summer holidays are coming up, but unfortunately, my boss needs me to attend some urgent business in Chicago.
So are we getting a sitter?
No, I have no choice but to send you to your Aunt Maggie's house.
On Maggie's, yay!
I, however, was not happy in the least. Aunt Maggie was just like Regina, a ruthless devil. When we arrived at Aunt Maggie's house, she was already waiting on the porch. Regina got out of the car and ran to her like she was just freed from prison, and Aunt Maggie caught her with her arms wide open.
Auntie Maggie, I missed you.
I have missed you as well, my Regina boo. Look how much you have grown. Come on in, you must be thirsty.
Mom and I were left standing outside to carry in all the bags. As we entered the living room, it was like walking through a freaking kaleidoscope. All the bright colors almost blinded me for a moment. Aunt Maggie was helping Mom with our bags.
Thank you for taking care of the girls. You can handle this, right?
Aunt Maggie ignored Mom's question and rushed toward the kitchen because there was a loud crashing sound.
Maggie, are you sure you can handle this?
Relax, sis, I can. Enjoy your holiday.
Okay, bye, girls. Please behave.
The next day, Aunt Maggie wanted to take us out for an early lunch, but I wasn't feeling so well.
Raven, we're starving. Hurry up.
It's fine. Go on without me. I decided to stay in bed the whole day, hoping to feel better. And then there was this loud rattling sound. Being alone never scared me, but suddenly I felt a chill. And when I tried to fall asleep, bang! There was that sound again. Aunt Maggie? Regina? Is that you? Regina, you can cut it out now. You have my attention. Secretly, I hoped that it was Regina and her attention-seeking nature, but it was not. I slowly got up from under the blankets and bravely went to face whatever it was. Hello? Anyone there? When the noise stopped, I relaxed a little. But when I looked inside my aunt's room, something was in there, shuffling around, and I raced back to my room. I stayed under my blanket with the torch on for hours. It was night now, and Aunt Maggie and Regina weren't back yet. But I was dog-tired, and my eyelids felt like lead, so I let myself fall asleep. The next morning, I woke up startled as Aunt Maggie started shouting from the kitchen.
Regina, Raven, come on, sleepyheads, breakfast is served.
I didn't hear you come in last night.
I'm sorry, Raven, I had some car trouble. How are you feeling? Did you sleep well?
I decided I needed to just come out with it and tell Aunt Maggie what I thought. I think there is a ghost in your room, Aunt Maggie. Aunt Maggie and Regina burst out into hysterical laughter. I felt like a fool for saying what I thought.
That's the most funniest thing.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Raven, there are no ghosts here. I scared them all away when I moved back in after my carnival days. Oh, and that reminds me, we're going out tonight to the carnival! And I am going to throw in a corn dog with that soda, Regina Boo.
Woohoo!
Since no one believed me about the ghost, I was going to stock up on torch batteries. There was no way I was going to fall asleep in this house without my torch.
All right, now let's talk about what we're wearing tonight. This is what I'll be wearing, and I have matching outfits for you both. How exciting!
There was no way Regina or I was ever going to wear duck costumes to a carnival, so I came up with an excuse for the both of us. Regina and I have, severe skin allergies, so I don't think that's the brightest idea.
Okay then, more fun for me then.
It felt good to be out and about, but Aunt Maggie was so into her ducks that she spoke about them all the way to the carnival.
All right, girls, my duck show is about to begin. I need to get to the ducks. I saved you front row seats.
Thanks, Aunt Maggie, but I would rather go on some carnival rides.
All right, you can go. But only if you promise to stick with your sister.
Great. Now I felt like one of Aunt Maggie's ducks. Yes, Aunt Maggie, I promise. Then, Aunt Maggie handed Regina some money, and Regina made a mad dash toward the carnival rides. And then, all of a sudden, I couldn't see her. Regina! Regina! Where are you? When I spotted her, she was heading toward the lake with a boy! Was this Regina's plan all along? To ditch me for a boy? I called out to Regina, but she just ignored me and got into a boat with this boy. When I got down to where the boats were docked, I got into one and rowed frantically. And when I caught up to them, I shouted to Regina, Regina, get into my boat now! We are heading back to shore!
Not a chance, fart face.
I am so going to wring your neck after this! You selfish brat! Suddenly, their boat was hit by something, and then again. The second time made the boat topple over, and Regina and the boy went in the water. Then, I saw it. It was a crocodile, and it was heading for Regina. The stupid boy she was with just left her. Regina, grab onto the paddle! We got onto shore safely, and then Regina got out of the boat and bolted toward that very same boy.
How could you just leave me to be eaten by a crocodile, you jerk?
As she was arguing with her boyfriend she met 15 minutes ago, this other girl shoved Regina.
Hey, why are you yelling at my brother? You freakazoid!
Your brother left my sister to be eaten by crocodiles!
My dad is the chief sheriff of this town, and if he finds out that you two newbies are trouble, we'll deport you back from whichever monkey land you came from.
Well, looks like you and your brother are the biggest monkeys of this town. With that, I took Regina's hand and walked off. Later that night, while I was in the room watching Storytime Animated, Regina sat down quietly next to me.
Thank you for standing up for me like that.
I've always stood up for you, Regina, but you just never notice, since you're always so angry at me and Mom.
You're better than me at everything, so I just hated myself for not being like you.
Regina, there are so many beautiful things about you, and you have to love yourself first, and then you'll see the difference. While Regina and I were having a moment of sisterhood, Aunt Maggie came barging into the room.
What you girls did tonight was not funny.
We never said that it was. Regina could have been hurt, but
Regina is fine. But I'll tell you who isn't. Georgina.
Who the heck is Georgina?
Georgina is the girl you hurt. I am dating her dad, and you need to apologize to her tomorrow.
if you're talking about the tall girl with the long nose, then she needs to apologize to us and her dense brother.
Her name is Georgina, and I won't have you back-chatting me in my house, young lady.
The next day, Aunt Maggie had a barbecue, and Georgina, the mean girl from the carnival, glared at us scornfully and then put on a fake smile.
So, girls, Mike and I are soon to be married, which means he has family and so is Georgina and Garth. So I need you all to get along.
My brother and I have always been the good kids on the block. We won't let you down, Maggie.
When Aunt Maggie went out to get some ice with her future husband, Georgina turned into the evil devil that she really was.
Now listen here, you buffoons. As long as you are in my town, you will do what I say. Now pour me more soda. It's freaking 100 degrees out here.
Regina and I smiled at each other, took 2 cans of soda, and dropped them on her long black hair.
What did you do? I just got my hair done at the salon.
You said it was 100 degrees, so we cooled you off.
Georgina charged after us like a wildcat, and then she went totally bonkers and threw down the barbecue grill, burning half of Aunt Maggie's plants and lettuce, which she feeds to her ducks. Georgina, what have you done? Right then, Aunt Maggie stepped in, and Georgina started crying dramatically.
Oh, Maggie, your nieces were so horrible to me. Just look at how they ruined your beautiful garden.
Aunt Maggie!
Enough!
Aunt Maggie looked at us with so much rage, and Georgina's brother, who saw everything, remained quiet like a fool.
I have had enough of you two. I'm calling your mother.
Things were so awkward at my aunt's house after that. Mom arrived late the next day, and we were relieved to be going home. After a few years, I completed school and began studying medicine, and soon it was time for Regina's prom. I think the up style will suit the dress you'll be wearing.
I think you're right.
As Regina and I were trying to figure out her hairstyle, Mom came in.
You look beautiful, Regina.
Thanks, Mom.
She suddenly started tearing up. What's wrong?
I'm just so proud of you girls, the both of you.
Aww.
The school hall looked amazing. I almost forgot that we were at prom. It really felt like a winter ball. Regina looked stunning. Her dress was perfect. I could see Regina and David dancing together. They looked so good together. But then, I saw Regina stop all of a sudden, and she was shouting at someone next to David.
Hey, what are you doing?
I rushed over to where Regina was. She was covered in punch and shouting at the waitress.
Look at me, it's ruined. My hair, my dress. Couldn't you watch where you're going?
I turned to look at the waitress, and I almost fainted when I saw her. This was no accident.
Let's call it payback.
I couldn't believe what Georgina did. I pushed Regina out of the way, and I was about to school Georgia about real payback. But just then, Mom and the school principal grabbed onto me and didn't let go.
Raven, don't. She just isn't worth it.
Look at what she did to Regina, Mom! She ruined her night. Georgina deserves what's coming.
Well, you girls ruined my life.
We can't take credit for that. Your life sucked way before we visited your crackpot town.
After your mom fetched you, your crazy aunt decided to steal my dad and move away. I haven't seen my dad since. I found out where you lived and planned how I was going to get back at you.
No, Regina, let's go.
But sis, she ruined my night.
And by walking away, we make sure she doesn't ruin anything more. Georgina was fired and soon after moved back to her hometown. We never saw her again. Regina wasn't crowned prom queen. I didn't care though, and quite surprisingly, neither did Regina. That night was soon a fading memory. Instead of giving in to Georgina's misguided vengeance, I broke free and am now able to tell others that vengeance doesn't pay.